Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I am Angela. I am a full-time voiceover artist and audiobook narrator, and my channel is dedicated to those of you that are just getting started out in this wonderful world of voiceover, in the hopes that I can share with you some of the techniques and some of the tips and tricks that I have learned along my own path to becoming a full-time voiceover artist. So what I wanted to talk about today was a question that I get a lot. I feel like I say that a lot, but the most common question that, or problem that I have been seeing with the people that I work with is for audiobooks and the noise floor. What is the noise floor? How do I find it? How do I fix it? Or how do I make it conform to ACX's standards? What do I do? What is it? I don't help. So that's what I wanted to talk about today was let's go into explaining what noise floor is for ACX's requirements for audiobook narration and how do you get it to fit or to conform to ACX's standards. So let's hop on over to my Adobe Audition to my DAW and I will show you what this is. Okay, here's my Adobe Audition or my DAW, my digital audio workstation. And we're going to, let's just open up and create a new file. So we're just going to do a noise floor test. Okay. All right, so here's our file. I am just going to click on the record button and we're going to start recording some dialogue so we can take a look. Now, I'm going to take a pause here so we can collect some of the ambient room tone that's in my room here so I can show you what noise floor is. So now we have a little bit of room noise that we can work with, and I'm going to turn the recording off. Okay, so here is the recording we just made. Now, this space here in between where I was speaking, this mouth noise is really annoying me, so I'm going to delete that. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in here. All right, so this is the room tone. This is the sound of my room without me speaking. Now, as you can see from my spectral display down here, you can actually see the room noise. Now, if you're looking at your DAW and you don't have a spectral display, this is what you see between your words, right? Your room tone, which is just a straight line. Now, it doesn't really look like anything, right? That doesn't look like noise. That looks like nothing. It's just a straight line. But I like to use the spectral display in Adobe Audition because it gives me a better look visually at what my room noise is. You can see that there is noise here. This brighter line down here at the bottom indicates a low frequency hum or a low frequency noise. Most of the time, this noise is caused by your computer or an air conditioner, something that's sort of low and humming in the background, right? For me, this noise is most likely my computer as my studio door is open and my PC tower is right outside of my room. When my door is closed, I have less noise. But I don't want you to freak out if you do see this noise. A lot of noise can be removed or reduced to still comply with ACX's standards. So we're going to take this recording that I just made and I'm going to show you what the noise floor is and how to get this to comply with ACX's standards. Now, I'm going to take my volume bar down here at the bottom and increase it in size so you can see. That's what this bar is down here at the bottom. This is my volume bar, right? So if I play this recording that I just made, take a look. Now, I'm going to take a pause here. So the green and yellow that you see at the bottom is my volume, is the volume of the words that I am speaking. So watch it one more time. Take a pause here so we can collect some of the ambient room. Okay, so that is the volume. So now I'm going to highlight just this room tone so we can see how loud this noise is. And what we're going to be looking at down here on my volume bar is this -60. Your noise floor must be below -60 decibels to adhere to ACX's standards. So the first thing I'm going to do is highlight this room tone section, and I'm going to play it so we can see on the volume bar how loud my noise floor is. Now, as we can see, my noise floor, if you're watching the volume bar at the bottom, goes just above -60 dB. So it's a little bit too loud. My noise floor is a little too loud to pass for ACX's standards. But this is a relatively easy fix. So what I'm going to do, there's a couple of ways. There's a lot of great plugins available that can remove or reduce room noise. You know, Isotope has their RX7 or their RX8 suites that have a noise reducer. Waves is a great place to go to get plugins. They have my favorite plugin, which is NS1, which will reduce my noise floor without destroying the sound of my voice. Adobe Audition also has an effect called denoise, which will help reduce this noise floor a little bit as well. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you first Adobe Audition's denoise and see if that can reduce our noise floor. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is come over to my rack, and to enable this effect, I'm going to click on this little arrow here, and I am going to go to Noise Reduction Restoration and then scroll over to Denoise. So we're going to enable that. And I always recommend whenever you're using effects or plugins, start on the lighter side if you're trying to reduce a noise or a plosive or anything of that nature, because the more heavy-handed you are with some of these plugins, the more they're going to distort the dialogue or your voice, and you don't want that. So start on the lighter side of using these plugins. So start on the lighter side of these effects, and then gradually increase the amount of the effect that you're using so you don't distort your voice. So for us here, I'm going to start with this preset for light noise reduction. And if I wanted to adjust this a little bit further down here on this amount bar, right now it's set at to reduce it by 20%, which I think would be sufficient for this. But I'm going to increase it to, let's go 30%. We want to reduce the noise by 30%. And we're going to apply it by hitting the apply button and see if that works. Okay, so it applied. Now to test it, I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to select this room noise, and I'm going to play it and watch my volume level bar down here at the bottom and see if it goes over the -60. As you can see, it dropped considerably. It's now down to maybe -67. So the denoise worked to reduce my noise floor of my file. So now, in terms of noise floor, this file will pass for ACX's standards. Now, there's another way to do this. So I'm going to go back to before we applied the denoise, okay, back to where we started. Now I'm going to use Waves plugin NS1, okay? We're going to try that one and see if that will help us out here. So I am going to go to Waves, Restoration, Waves, NS1 Mono. Again, I'm going to start on the low side. Right now it's set at 0, so I'm going to set it to reduce. I'm going to set it to 10, and now we're going to apply that and see if that helps us. Okay, now to test, I'm going to select this section again and play it and watch the volume level bar at the bottom. As you can see, it peaked at about -65. So I know that it's under -60 dB, and it will also pass for ACX's standards. And I do want to mention that when you apply these plugins, make sure that you apply your plugin or your effect to the entire file, because your noise floor is not going to be isolated to just when you're not speaking. You want to apply it to your entire file that you're working with, so it reduces that low frequency hum all through your file. And do keep in mind that reducing your noise of your audio file is usually one of the first things that you're going to do. And then once you have everything edited, you have all of your effects processed, and then you normalize to -3 dB, which is usually the last step in producing an audiobook, that's going to increase the volume of everything in your file. So make sure that you test it again when you're done processing your file, just to double check that your noise floor that you had reduced did not increase back up over the -60 dB. And even if it does, you could lightly apply the noise suppressor or noise reducer of your choice, again, very lightly, just to be sure that that noise floor stays at -60 or below. And I say that because I've had that happen to me personally, where in the beginning, when I was just learning how to produce audiobooks, and I got my noise floor set after a lot of trial and error, I had everything processed, and then I checked it one more time and my noise floor was too loud. So just make sure that before you send off that file to ACX or to the client for ACX, that you double check your noise floor just one last time, just to make sure. And you can do that just like I did. Choose a section between, a few words or like a paragraph, or at the beginning, at the head of your file or at the tail of your file where you have some room tone, and test that noise floor there just to make sure that you are still under -60 dB. But I hope that video helps to demystify the noise floor issue for ACX, and I hope that helps you move forward with audiobook narration. And if you found this video helpful, I would really appreciate if you hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.